Announcement coming as the violent
President Trump will end.
President Trump has claimed Chicago is, quote, the
now armed federal agents, some in full tactics.
Imagine driving through the south side of Chicago, a city built on music, money, and dreams, only to find yourself in a place where gunshots echo louder than ambition, and survival is the only currency that matters. A neighborhood where fame and death walk the same streets, sometimes in the same night. Welcome to Parkway Gardens, better known by its infamous nickname, O Block. Once home to future rap legends and kids chasing hope, it's now the most dangerous stretch of concrete in America.
This Portland director says the facility is under constant attack with little...
A place where the line between life and death is measured in footsteps. Today, we're taking you inside Chicago's deadliest streets, where every block has a story, and every story is written in blood. In the heart of the South Side lies a cluster of streets that reshaped America's idea of urban warfare.
The misuse of the National Guard, they're not needed in this particular role. If President Trump really wanted to fight crime, then maybe you should stop defunding them.
Parkway Gardens, once a post-World War II housing project built to represent opportunity for working-class black families, became the epicenter of Chicago's endless cycle of violence. Just across from O Block runs King Drive, a street that feels less like a road and more like a front line. On any given night, police sirens drown out the rumble of the L train, and flickering streetlights reveal young men in hoodies pulled tight, scanning the shadows for rivals. Locals call it Murder Drive, and the numbers prove it. In a city already branded America's murder capital, this neighborhood records crime rates up to 10 times higher than the national average. Shootings are so frequent that people distinguish between warning shots and real ones, between drive-bys and walk-ups. Here, children learn how to duck before they learn how to read. But the scariest part isn't the violence itself, it's how normal it's become. To understand O Block, you need to understand how Chicago was built and divided. Throughout the 20th century, city leaders created what historians now call the Black Belt, forcing African American families into overcrowded neighborhoods through racist housing laws known as redlining. While the north side boomed with investment, the south side was left to rot. Factories shut down, schools lost funding, and job opportunities vanished. What was once called urban renewal quickly turned into a blueprint for isolation. By the 1970s, Parkway Gardens, once a symbol of progress, had become a cage of poverty. In the 1980s, as crack cocaine swept across American cities, Chicago turned into a battlefield. The Gangster Disciples and Black Disciples, two of the city's most feared gangs, transformed these projects into fortified zones. When police stopped patrolling entire blocks, gangs replaced them with their own rules, their own justice, and their own economy, the drug trade. By the time rap culture told the world about Chirac, O Block wasn't just a nickname, it was a warning. Walk down these streets today, and it feels like stepping into a parallel America. Corner stores behind bulletproof glass, graffiti-stained walls turned into memorials, candlelight vigils for friends who never made it past 21. Posters of young men who are gone, their faces reminders of lives cut short. The average household income here is less than $20,000 a year. Unemployment hovers around 30%, public schools are chronically underfunded, and the few community programs that survive are held together with scraps. Meanwhile, gun manufacturers profit off the chaos, and social media platforms turn neighborhood beefs into viral entertainment. Every name carries a story, from rappers like Chief Keef and King Von, who turned pain into worldwide fame, to countless nameless victims who never got a headline. In O Block, fame can make you rich, but it can just as easily get you killed. For every artist who makes it out, 10 more die trying. Residents say it's no longer about gangs, it's about territory. Every street corner, every apartment complex, every block is an invisible border. Cross one without permission, and it might be your last mistake. The police presence is heavy, but ineffective. Dozens of arrests, few convictions, because here, nobody talks. On the south side, snitches don't live long. But let's be clear, O Block didn't destroy itself. It was built to collapse. For decades, city officials have used the South Side as a containment zone for poverty. Billions are poured into redevelopment projects, but never here. Instead, luxury condos rise in downtown Chicago, while just a few miles south, families struggle without heating, clean water, or safety. Politicians announce new anti-violence initiatives every year, but the murder rate doesn't change. Why? Because solving the problem would mean cutting off the flow of money. The system profits from the chaos. Private security firms, prison contractors, political machines all benefit from keeping neighborhoods like O-Block violent. The more dangerous it becomes, the more funding, attention, and control the system gains. Even the internet plays its part, turning tragedy into profit. Viral gang rivalries rack up millions of views, generating ad revenue while glorifying the very violence that's destroying lives. The block became digital, and violence became entertainment. But this isn't just about O-Block.
Chicago area are violent carjackings, known in English as carjackings.
The violence bleeds across Chicago. Hospitals are packed with gunshot victims. Ambulances cruise neighborhoods like military convoys. Children walk to school along carefully mapped routes to avoid rival territories. And the fear doesn't stop at the city limits. Gun trafficking routes stretch from Chicago to St. Louis, Kansas City, even Atlanta, feeding a nationwide epidemic of violence. What started in one neighborhood is now replicated across America's urban landscape. Just as Skid Row became a symbol of neglect, O-Block stands as proof that systemic abandonment is not an accident, it's policy. Look at O-Block from above, and you'll see neat brick buildings behind iron fences. But step inside and you realize the fence isn't built to keep outsiders out. It's built to keep residents in. Every corner tells the same story. Dreams that never made it, potential that never had a chance, lives reduced to numbers in a city that pretends not to see.
And weak gun laws in Illinois.
Chicago calls itself the city that works. But for many here, it's the city that forgot. And maybe that's the point, because keeping people divided, afraid, and fighting ensures the system stays exactly the same. So the next time you hear gunshots echoing down King Drive, remember, this isn't chaos, it's design. And that brings us to the end of this episode. If you were moved by what you heard, hit the like button. It helps us keep telling stories others are too afraid to show. Subscribe to Inside America's Darkest Streets for more untold truths, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next one. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and never stop asking why.